Hi, and welcome to the Jack and Ian show. Today on the show, we're going to get to a lot of stuff, a lot of sports that have happened since we last spoke. The NFL now in full swing. We're in kind of mid-season here. Same with college football. What we're not in the middle of is baseball and basketball, though. We'll get to those as well, as long as some So You Think You Know About Soccer. With that said, I think we started off how we always have, and let's go and talk about some NFL.
Let's do it, Jack. All right, so starting off as always with our players of the week. This might come to a surprise for some people, but Damian Harris, honestly, in my opinion, has been one of the most underrated running backs in the league so far this year with the New England Patriots. And this weekend, he had a fantastic game. He had 14 carries, 106 yards, and 2 total touchdowns. And so, I mean, he's been fantastic for them. His stock is growing not only in fantasy, but also as a player in the NFL. And he's just becoming a whole new running back with the Patriots.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this last weekend specifically, he had an absolutely monster game against the Jets, which, I mean, just talking about that matchup, that's one that we talked about last week, how Aaron Rodgers owned Chicago.
Yeah.
Those Patriots really own the Jets.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's depressing to be a Jets fan, to say the least, especially when it comes to that interdivisional rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, poor Jets. I mean, that's really all you have to say about it. I mean, Jones had a great game, but, I mean, this last weekend just proved yet again how the New England Patriots just have dominated that series for forever.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, just by looking at the scoreboard, I mean, the Patriots scored 54 points compared to the Jets 13. So it was an absolute blowout. And I do want to mention just Damian Harris's season stats so far. So he has a total of 437 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, which actually comes out to average 4.6 yards a carry, which is actually 1/10 above Derrick Henry, who is at 4.5 yards a carry.
I mean, that's an impressive amount of yards per carry. Obviously, he's not getting as many touches as a person like Derrick Henry, but, I mean, that's still a good path to be on. He's not keeping too bad of company there, to say the least.
Exactly.
And then, I mean, he got to participate in an absolute bloodbath that was New England, New York this last weekend. What's the other player of the week we got for us this week?
The other player is going to be Cooper Kupp for the LA Rams. And, again, this is one of those guys that has just been on fire this year. Some of you guys might have seen it on NFL's Instagram page, but he is projected to break all sorts of records as a wide receiver, whether that's receiving yards, touchdowns in a season, whatnot, honestly. But, Cooper Kupp is on our radar for sure. He's our second player of the week. He had 10 receptions, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Rams' 28-19 win over the sad and poor Detroit Lions.
Yeah, we the 2 players of the week this week playing against some very sad people. Cooper Kupp's been awesome. Mm-hmm. He killed me in fantasy this last week. Let me look up and see how many he actually had. I'm positive. I mean, it was more than 30.
Oh, has to be.
I can tell you that much.
He's averaging 28 points a game, I think, right now, at least in my fantasy league.
Yeah, no, he's been absolutely ridiculous. For the Rams now, I mean, we talked about it before with Matt Stafford now there.
Yeah.
Replacing Jared Goff, who, Jared Goff, not a great week for him.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Definitely not.
Playing against his former team, but,
Yeah.
Big week for the Rams, big week for the Patriots. Cooper Kupp, let's see how many he had. By the way, I have to grieve something also in a second. Cooper Kupp had 37.6 points against me.
Oh, my God.
He had 10 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 156 yards. All right, so this is a situation I ran into on Sunday night. So the Sunday night football game was the Indianapolis Colts and the San Francisco 49ers. That game was depressing.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the story. I was down in fantasy by about 4.
Okay.
So the score, my other teammate was done. He had no other players playing. He had 100 points, basically even. Mm-hmm. I had 96 point whatever. So I needed 4 points. If I get 4 points, I win. Yeah. I have one player left playing in the game. Now, this is a player I drafted, I think, let's see. I drafted him high.
Who is he?
I drafted him 57th. I'll let you guess. This is a terrible player, and
On which team?
I needed 4 points. He didn't get me 4 points, but I was willing to draft him high. Who's someone that is possible that I drafted high that has been awful? He's averaged so few. He averages 4 points on the season, and I drafted him 57th.
Is he a running back?
No.
What?
Wide receiver.
Oh God, who is it? I have no idea, honestly.
Wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, Brandon Ayuk.
I drafted him too, and then I just dropped him recently.
Yeah, that was a smart move. I had to play him this week, though, because CeeDee Lamb, bye week, and then some injuries to other players. And so it was like I had to play him.
Yeah.
I'm down 4. I need 4 points. That's 2 catches for 10 yards.
It's not
for 20
much
yards.
to ask, yeah.
That's nothing. I could do that. If you gave me every snap of an NFL game, I believe I could get open twice and catch it. He couldn't do that. He got, in fact, 1.9 points.
Oh,
God. He had 1 reception for 6 yards and 1 carry for 3.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, with that weather, there's just no way they're going to pass it. But yeah, no, I get that. But
even then, he had to do nothing.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that. I have major issues with Brandon this morning.
Yeah. So aside from Jack's grievances towards Brandon Ayuk, Cooper Kupp again is just going off this year. In terms of his season stats, he's got 809 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns, and he actually has 14 catches for 20 yards or more, and 4 catches for 40 yards or more. And so, I mean, those stats just right there are pretty spectacular. Anyways, the Rams are now 6-1. They're second in the NFC West behind the 7-0 Cardinals. And, the Rams will just try to keep it going next week.
Yeah, we've had some interesting, standings thus far.
Yeah.
The Arizona Cardinals obviously being the one remaining undefeated team within the NFL.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. I mean, they've had a fantastic season. I mean, Kyler Murray's just been awesome.
He's been insane.
He's played so good.
Yeah.
He got rocked Sunday. Did you see
He did.
that?
I saw that, yeah.
Holy cow. I mean, he got killed.
Yeah. No, I know.
The 2 flags just immediately. And it was like this dude, like if you've ever seen The Water Boy, it looks like a hit that like Bobby Boucher would make.
Bobby Boucher,
like,
man.
He rocked Kyle. Who was it that hit him? Do you remember? I don't remember.
I just saw it on a video afterwards.
Goodness.
But yeah.
He got killed. I mean,
yeah.
I'm props to him for popping right back up from that because that was a massive hit.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, I mean, they've had a fantastic season, though. Extremely fun team. I mean, they've got weapons all over the field. They've got a good defense to go along with it. I mean,
they've added Zach Ertz, so.
Yeah.
I mean, he caught a touchdown, but, yeah, I mean, right now the Cardinals are on fire. I don't see anyone really stopping them right now.
No.
But moving on to our game of the week, there were 2 hot teams playing against each other. Yeah,
and one proved to be much better,
Yeah.
and now they're number 1 too.
Yeah, Cincinnati Bengals beat the Baltimore Ravens 41-17 this weekend. Joe Burrow, thank gosh he went off. I had him in my fantasy team. He had a fantastic day passing, 23 for 38, 416 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 pick during the game, but honestly, he played outstanding. The Bengals running game was probably the Bengals running game wasn't the best this week as it has been in the past, but Mixon and Samaje Perine both got in for touchdowns, and they both had over 50 yards rushing. And then we got to talk about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, 8 receptions.
He was the story of this game.
201 yards and a touchdown. I mean, this guy is just absolutely insane. Definitely going to be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that connection still exists from LSU with both of them. I mean, did you see, though, That one, I think it was, how long was that one
The
touchdown?
slant, it was an 82-yard quick slant for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrible defending, let's just be honest.
But it wasn't even that. It was that he was guarded by 3 dudes.
Yeah.
That spin move was nasty.
And he stumbled away from that, too, and he still got all that separation to run it in.
That spin move was filthy,
Yeah.
though. I mean, he made them look foolish.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, Jamar Chase, chill. I mean, what were the stats he had? I think you read it out.
Yeah,
a second
8 receptions, 201 yards, and a touchdown.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean,
dominant.
He's been awesome. Joe Burrow's been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the Bengals have been good and the Cardinals have been good is insane considering where those franchises were just a few years ago.
No, totally.
I mean, the Bengals rebuild probably isn't completely through. I mean, their offensive line's still not good.
Yeah, but now they've at least got 2, 3, 4 guys that they can actually build around.
Well, you've got Mixon. You've got guys like that. You got Joe Burrow, obviously.
Yeah.
Now you got Jamar Chase, who's awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got some good guys to build around. Your defense is solid enough.
Yeah.
And then it's just offensive. Well, if they had a great offensive line, they would be even better.
Yeah.
I mean, because then Joe Burrow wouldn't be taking hits every game.
Yeah,
But,
no, exactly.
I've been incredibly impressed by the Bengals. I don't think anybody saw this was going to come from them.
No.
Nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody
not at all.
did. So, extremely impressive week for the Bengals.
Yeah. Quickly, did you know it was National Tight End Day on Sunday?
This last Sunday?
Yeah, National Tight End Day.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how new that is. I mean, part of me feels like it's got to be pretty new, but...
They deserve some recognition.
So I did want to give a shout-out to a tight end on the Bengals, and that is C.J. Uzomah.
War Eagle.
Yeah. 3 receptions, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. No, he's been big for them. Tight ends, very, very underrated players. We've seen some good ones come through the NFL. Gronk's still going.
Yeah.
Derek
Waller. Oh, my... Darren Waller. Oh... Can't believe I just said Derek Waller.
Messing up your own players' names. My goodness.
Oh, my God.
That's terrible.
Wow.
That's terrible. Are you even a Raiders fan?
I know. I might as just well retire right now. You want to carry on with
you
the show by yourself?
You probably think they're still in Oakland, don't you? You probably think they're still in Oakland.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, so yeah. Sunday was National Tight Ends Day, so that was pretty special. Anyways, I do want to talk about one of the biggest stories so far. And that is that Tom Brady threw for his 600th touchdown this weekend to Mike Evans, who actually caught 3 touchdowns on Sunday.
Big day for Mike Evans, too, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, he gave the ball away to a fan.
Yeah, he did. I mean, they got it back.
Yeah.
So this ball, I think they said it was valued around $600,000.
Yeah.
And he just gave it to a fan, Mike Evans having no idea what that touchdown ball was.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't expect him to be keeping track.
No.
But then you see the Bucks send over a dude to try and win it back. They talked about it on that the Manning broadcast last night. Did
you see what that guy got in exchange?
He got good stuff.
Well,
considering that, like, if you're gonna get anything, at least he got something.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? He got some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just said, "Give us the ball back."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could have said no.
Yeah.
He could have, and he could have sold it for $600,000.
Yeah.
But he gave it back because he's a nice person.
Yeah.
And he ended up with 2 signed Brady jerseys and a signed helmet.
Yep.
All by Tom Brady.
Yep.
Mike Evans jersey that's signed and some game cleats. He got $1,000 in credit to the team store, which is by far just the most come on.
Yeah.
$1,000.
A fraction of what the ball costs.
That's
1/600th.
And then 2 season tickets for the remainder of the 2021-2022 season. So that's 2 tickets per home game.
Honestly, that's pretty sweet.
Well, it depends on where the seats are.
That's true.
If they're
if he gets a ball for
50-yard
each
line,
game,
12 rows up, then
that's sweet.
a probably pretty good deal. But if they put him in the nosebleeds, then come on.
Yeah.
Tampa, do better. But that was an amazing story. He also got a Bitcoin.
Yeah. That's right.
You see that? Brady said he gave him one of his Bitcoins. So he did get some money. He got about 60,000?
63,000, I think, something like that.
Something like that. So, I mean, he got some... That's a lot more than he came in with.
Totally.
I mean, he came in with nothing. He could have had 600,000, but he ended up walking away with $60,000 plus 1,000 in money that can only be spent at the team store.
Exactly.
And then...
probably on-site, too, not online, because...
Probably...
They always make it tough.
And then, what? $1,000. That's good for, like, a jersey nowadays, right?
Yeah.
One official jersey.
Well, if you're looking for the on-field jersey, it's about like $340, like the on-field one.
$1,000 in NBA and NFL merch is, it's not as much as it sounds like. It's not as much as it sounds like. Also, this dude's literally wardrobe is going to be completely Tampa stuff.
Yeah.
Because of this, like that's all he's going to have because he's going to have $1,000.
Yeah. To
use at a team store. Yeah, that was interesting, obviously. Tom Brady passing that big benchmark of 600 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. No, it is.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Sarah alum. Shout out to Sarah High School. I had to do that. Sorry.
There you go. Wait, did he go to...
Yeah, he went to our high school, yeah.
Tom Brady
I went to Tom Brady's high school, excuse me.
You went to... Whoa. I had no idea this was true.
Yeah.
So is this like a big deal? Like, does your high school, like, market this at all? Like...
I don't know if they market it, but yeah, I mean, he's been back to do speeches for financial aid, funded dream speeches. I
legitimately had no idea this was...
People do that. Yeah.
No idea this...
Yeah.
So there are a lot of Tom Brady fans at your high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because of that?
Yeah, just because of that. I mean, he went there. Barry Bonds went there.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Oh my God. Lynn Swan went there.
Yeah.
So...
Tom Brady, I mean, goodness. So, do you ever walking down a hallway and then just Tom Brady walks right past you?
No, so I wish Tom Brady came back for out of those 4 years I was there, but as much as I wanted to stay for a fifth year, it was probably not smart.
Oh, he never came.
Well, I mean, he might have come back. We sure didn't see him.
Oh, with COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
But yeah, so no, they definitely celebrate him the most.
I can't imagine. I mean, he's got to be just the biggest deal.
Oh yeah.
Man, I had no idea he went to Tom Brady's high school.
I told you. Yeah.
No clue.
I guess you guys are learning things just as Jack
just
is
as fast
too. So.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You went to high school with. I didn't go to high school with him, but he went to the same high school as Tom Brady.
I wish I went to high school with him.
That would be crazier.
But
anyway, another game. Well, I'm trying to think about how to phrase it. The Bears.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to talk about that too.
They can't get it right.
Justin Fields, man. Oh God.
They ruined a perfectly good quarterback again.
Yep.
Which makes me believe that Mitchell Trubisky... all this makes me believe Mitch Trubisky is the best NFL quarterback in history. Considering that he got them to the playoffs with that offense.
No.
And those weapons, he's the best quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
To say, it just is. I don't know what you want. Aaron Rodgers couldn't do that. You put him on that team? No, they're top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky got him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else you want from him.
Yeah. I mean, just right now, the Bears are in a terrible spot. Yeah, Justin Fields needs to work on his ball security. 5 turnovers, 3 picks, 2 fumbles. He fumbled it 3 times, but they actually recovered one of them. So lucky him.
It was a rough day for Justin Fields. He's not used to days like this at Ohio State. He was an insanely good quarterback. Then... Bears fans come around. They pressure Matt Nagy to start the rookie over the redhead phenom Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
And then what ends up happening is, you ruin another good quarterback with a future. It's... The Bears are... I mean... The Bears are... If you get drafted by the Bears and you're a quarterback, go ahead and retire. Or just don't sign. I mean, people have done that before, right? I mean, they just don't sign and they enter some sort of free agency. I think that's what... If you're a quarterback that ever gets drafted by the Bears, well, Matt Nagy is present.
Yeah.
Do not sign that dotted line.
Yeah.
Because it will ruin your life. It will. So, Justin Fields, everybody thought that coming in, he was the answer.
Yeah. No, totally.
But all he's done is really point out the problem that the Bears have, I think.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
People came in and were thinking, it's the talent that's the issue. If they get better players, then the system's going to work.
Yeah.
Well, they got better players.
Yeah.
I mean, not that many. They got a better player. They got Justin Fields.
Yeah.
And turns out that it's probably the system.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thunk that Matt Nagy could not run a good football program? I mean, when I realized this, I was astonished that Matt Nagy's the problem.
Yeah.
After all these years, it's amazing. So, that was a revelation, I think, to all of us.
Yep.
That, in fact, Matt Nagy is the problem. And that it is not Justin Fields or Mitchell Trubisky's fault. In fact, we owe them all apologies. And I think Andy Dalton includes a small one.
Yeah.
Maybe a small one. He didn't have that much time.
He needs more respect on his name, too. But
Nick Foles, too.
Yeah.
We can apologize to Nick Foles, I think. Super Bowl champion Nick Foles. Mm-hmm. Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles.
With the Eagles.
Nick Foles.
But, yeah, anyways, that's just about it for our NFL segment today. And
well, I think we actually had one more. It's just some speculative talk.
Yeah.
Some Deshaun Watson rumors. He's been stuck in some real limbo. And nobody really knows what's going to happen to him. He's stuck on the Houston Texans, still awaiting to be moved or for his contract to one day run out of years and he can move on and go to a different team.
Yeah.
So teams that you can kind of speculate about right now: Panthers, Dolphins, Steelers. They obviously don't have problems with guys with a history. They'll welcome him with open arms.
Yep.
Especially now that Ben Roethlisberger is the worst quarterback in NFL history. So I feel like Deshaun Watts, he would fit in, considering Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool. You can't convince me that his personality would not fit the Steelers.
His personality would fit. I don't know about that style of play,
it would.
Though.
With Ben Roethlisberger having been there for all those years, he'd fit right in.
But yeah, so
right in that culture. And then Panthers and Dolphins, they just need quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua's interception Sunday, that was awful.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Only to be outdone by Carson Wentz, but
yeah. But yeah. Anyways, Deshaun Watson. It seems like the Panthers and the Dolphins have him on their radar. I haven't heard much yet, but they said that a deal could be done later this week, so we'll see. I mean, honestly, the last time I heard that a deal could be done with Deshaun Watson felt like a month or two ago. So
that was. I feel like that was like a year ago.
We don't even know when that's going to happen, but yeah. So we'll see.
People have been talking about this trade forever. I mean, he wanted out, and then those allegations came up, and then people, forgot that he existed as a person, and now he's trying to make a comeback in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he's insanely talented.
He is. No, he is. I mean, if he gets onto a team, he'll be one of the most elite quarterbacks in the league.
Imagine him, and if both can stay healthy, him and Christian McCaffrey would be just deadly.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be unbelievable. And then the Dolphins, I mean, just another sad franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way to describe it. I mean, sad franchise. Tua's probably not going to work out by this point. I mean, it's 2 years in, so I'll give him more time. That's probably unfair of me to say. But
yeah,
he's not proven to be moving in a good direction so far. So
we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, moving on now. Jack's got some college football stuff to talk about. So
a few years ago, there was a game, Texas A&M LSU. This game went to, I believe, 7 overtimes. It was insane. It was maybe one of the most entertaining college football games I've ever watched in my life. It was awesome. I loved every second of it. And it lasted till the wee hours of the morning because it was a night game. There was another game this weekend. This one went 9 overtimes. This was Penn State, Illinois. Unlike the last one, that was one of the most entertaining games I've ever watched. Final score was insanely high. LSU, Texas A&M going at it. Night game. It was so much fun. So much fun. This game was boring. For a 9 overtime game, it was insanely boring. The final score was 20-18. The only thing that was interesting was Penn State's a top 10 team, so it was kind of like, oh, is a top 10 team about to lose?
Yeah.
And like you couldn't not watch it because you're like, how long is this going to go? But in terms of the gameplay, the reason Texas A&M LSU was so good because both teams were playing so well. It was like, oh my gosh, like this is never going to end. Both are executing perfectly.
This is the reverse.
This was both teams are playing so bad. I don't know if one of these teams deserves to win.
Sure.
I think both teams should lose.
How long are the overtimes?
So what happens is because that overtime went so long, I think after 4 overtimes now they switch to where you're on the 3-yard line and you go for 2 every time.
Oh, no wonder I saw so many 2s. I'm like, how does this work?
And so you get one play to score 2 points, and then like that keeps you going, and then then the other team gets the ball on the 3, and then they have a chance to score. There were so many wide open end zone passes in the overtimes. So many plays where you're like, that should have been a touch. You should have ran that in. You know what I mean? It was just so hard to watch. It was painful. It was really painful. It hurt my body. It was tough to watch. It was bad football, but you couldn't look away because you were like, it's never going to end. Sure. But like, it's gone so far. I need to know what's going to happen. I just need to stick it out. Yeah. But neither of those teams deserve to win. It was, you were watching it just going, just make it stop. Please. Please. Just end this game.
Yeah.
End it. Because I can't look away until you do. And then another good game was Oklahoma-Kansas. A game nobody thought would be, a game nobody thought would be good. Sorry, you just pulled up the World Series score.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. A game nobody thought would be good, Oklahoma-Kansas. Kansas was hanging in there for so long. And the funniest thing that I saw over the weekend was Kansas football sent out a message. I think they tweeted it or something. And it was like, hey, by the way, if you're in the Kansas area, you're allowed to come to the game without a ticket starting now, because it's so close. And so few people were there. They were like, listen, if you just want to come in, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well.
Sure.
Which was hilarious. Because they were it looked for a minute like they were going to beat Oklahoma, who's a top 4 team. And, nobody was there to witness it.
Yeah.
And so you're like, they're going to win, and there's going to be nobody to storm the field.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Yeah.
It's barren. And, no Oklahoma fans travel because it's Kansas. Kansas is terrible.
Sure.
And Kansas somehow, stuck it out. The play that made this game, though, was, on this 4th and 2, Oklahoma handed the ball off to, try and keep a drive going to try and take the lead back, I think. And the running back got stopped behind the line. And instead, while he was getting pushed back by the defender, he went on the ground. And the quarterback, Caleb Williams, came up, took the ball out of his hands, and ran for the first down.
Oh.
While he was getting tackled. He just took it from him.
Talk about assertiveness.
My goodness, yeah. I mean, it worked out. He got the first down. That's what made him win the game. So, that Oklahoma, shame on you for being that close to Kansas. But, that was a great game.
Yeah.
Great 11 o'clock game. Another good game, or this isn't a good game, but it's just something you have to mention. Pitt gave Clemson their 3rd loss on the season. Clemson was, not anymore, they might still be, but they're not this year. They were a juggernaut in the college football world, and now they're 4-3. They were handed their 3rd loss of the season on Saturday to Pitt, which is sad. They lost by double digits to an unranked team. Or no, they were ranked.
Yeah, 17.
They were 23, I think, on Saturday. Now they're 17.
Yeah. But
it's still
way,
Pitt.
Right? Yeah.
That's sad. It's Clemson. Come on. What's going on? I haven't seen them in Clemson games now because now they're bad, and so they're not getting good TV spots. They're on the ACC network, which I think is owned by only a few Boston College fans. Sure. But yeah, I mean, so I've seen nothing about Clemson. I mean, I think DJ Uiagalelei probably still sucks, but yeah, they've just been bad this season, and they're like, oh, they still have one of the top defenses, and then Pitt scored 27 on them, so I don't think so. Another game. You got Iowa State beating number 8 Oklahoma State. I'm going to be honest. There were 2 horrendous calls in this game. One going each way. One was the taunting penalty on a touchdown. Come on, guys. This is in the NFL. They can have fun. These are college kids. They're allowed to celebrate when nobody's within 15 yards of them on a wide open touchdown.
Yeah.
And they weren't even celebrating. The dude literally turned his head and then did a little bit of a skip jump on his way into the end zone. The dude did nothing.
Yeah.
He did nothing.
I'm not a big fan of that rule.
And it called the whole touchdown back. Yeah, that's the rule. Is excessive celebration disqualifies the score altogether. And so
I thought it was just
I thought so too. And then the outrage was unbelievable. And I was like, why are people so mad about this? It's because the touchdown did not count, which was horrendous. Now, on the other side, at the end of the game, Oklahoma State had the ball back. They were driving. There was under 2 minutes left, a little more than a minute, though. And there was a 4th and 1 or 2. And they threw a screen pass out wide. I swear this dude got the first down. I swear. He got the first down. I don't see how he didn't.
Really?
I mean, it's obviously close, and the ruling on the field was he was short by this much. Maybe. That was the ruling on the field when they brought out the chains.
Oh, okay.
It was short by this much. And they called that the game, basically. I mean, Iowa State got the ball back, took some knees, but I think he got the first down. They probably should have played arm, but...
I mean, honestly, I know this doesn't have anything specifically to do with college football, but just with football in general, I'm surprised that there isn't a technology where they actually track where the nose of the ball is at all times.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, part of the fun of watching football and getting into it is I mean, I don't know if this is fun, but human error, right?
The human aspect
plays into it. And we see this in all sports. Baseball with the strike zone, soccer with flopping and penalties, right? But part of me feels like, this is one where it's straight up. You either got it or you didn't. I think all other sports can kind of be subjective depending on how you see it. But I mean, I'm just kind of surprised that there hasn't been a technology that
in the NBA, I don't want a technology saying who the ball went out on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
But that's kind of different. And did you get the touchdown?
Because if I'm crossing right here and the nose of the ball actually crossed just by a hair, but they still called it as having the ball behind the line. I mean, obviously, I'm sure we're not the first people to think about this.
Yeah. But
I'm sure people have thought about this before, but I just thought I'd.
I don't know. I think that'd be interesting to look into. I mean, I don't know how you would necessarily do it, but I mean that'd obviously make it a lot more cut and dry. Replays would be faster, so that'd be nice.
My God,
but 2 other games I'll just mention briefly.
Yeah.
Alabama, Tennessee. I was impressed Tennessee hung around for 3 quarters. I was. I thought Bama was going to come out the gate, score 3 touchdowns, and be 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, and everyone flipped the game to another channel. Flip the TV. But they hung around till the third quarter. Then Alabama poured it on and ended up winning by multiple scores. But shout out to Tennessee. They didn't get demolished. I'm a big fan of Hooker for them too. I think he's the best quarterback they've had, really probably since Dobbs.
Wow, Joshua Dobbs. Damn.
Oh yeah. And then LSU Ole Miss, another one. Watched that with a couple buddies of mine. Ole Miss. Team that goes for it on 4th down, I feel like they're going to be due for one eventually. I don't see them being a 1-loss team all the way through the season, but, man, LSU kind of sucks, so.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Also, Eli Manning getting his jersey retired.
Yeah.
This last Saturday at Ole Miss in Oxford, so shout out to Eli Manning.
Eli? Was it Eli? Oh,
yeah. It was Eli. Shout out to Eli Manning. Anyway, that's what I got for college football this week. Pretty slow week overall. There wasn't any monster games or anything mega controversial. Just a few things I saw and observed. It was a pretty fun week in college football, though. Right now, though, the World Series is going on as we speak. Game 1 between the Houston Astros and the Atlanta Braves. Score right now, Braves up 5-0. When did they score their runs, by the way?
So they scored 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, and then 2 in the third. But the game's delayed.
Oh.
I just saw that it said it was delayed. So
Really? I feel like game delays usually mean the other team comes back.
Oh, okay. That's weird. It just said delayed, and now they are 1 out into the bottom of the third.
Okay,
all right,
good.
I guess it's back.
Okay, good news is the
Never
Braves
mind.
have scored in each of their in every inning
Yeah.
so far. So if they keep doing that, they'll probably win. So
Good for them,
I would
man.
love for the Braves
Yeah.
to break that Atlanta curse because it is a real thing.
Yes.
Someone did something wrong.
Yeah.
Made Atlanta deserve that.
Man.
Where Atlanta sports has been pummeled for the last decade. They've been the punching bag of the sports world.
I mean, the Hawks last year in the NBA
Yeah.
playoffs, the Falcons and their 28-3 lead.
I'll put it this way. These two sports cities have had it rough for two different reasons. Houston's to blame for Houston's problems. They've had their problems.
Yeah.
They had James Harden wanting out. Then they've had the Deshaun Watson issues that we talked about earlier that we touched on. And then the Houston Astros cheating.
Yep.
So they've brought this upon themselves that everyone hates their guts. But then the issue with Atlanta is more that they're kind of the sad kid, that nothing goes right for. They're Charlie Brown getting the ball pulled up by Lucy every time he goes to kick. They're that city in the sports world. That's what they do, is they fall, and after they try and kick they get close to the ball, but they never kick it, and they always land flat on their back.
Yeah.
So hopefully for their sake and for their sanity, they're able to get one done, because otherwise some people are probably going to snap eventually.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Atlanta becomes a ghost town after, their third professional team failed and,
I mean, last year they had a 3-1 lead in baseball.
Yeah.
Didn't get it done, lost the series.
Yeah.
Atlanta against the New England Patriots blew a massive lead.
Yep.
Georgia football had their issues. Been close to a championship a few times, made the playoffs, won SEC championships. Never won the Natty.
Mm-hmm.
They've had it tough. They've had it real tough. You hate to see it for them, but that's how it is. Hopefully they get this window.
Yeah.
That'd be fun for them. Also, nobody likes the Astros, let's be honest. Nobody likes Houston.
Yeah.
So that'd be massive if Atlanta can hold on and win game 1 here.
Yeah.
I would love for them to go up 3-1 just to see the panic they all have. That would just be hilarious. That would just be hysterical. I'd love for them to be up 3-1. Anyway, that's what we got, I think, for the World Series right now. Just that little update.
That's it.
Moving on from that, we're going to go back to a segment we've done, I think, twice now or so. It's called So You Think You Know About Soccer. I think I do, but also I'm not positive. I'm about to find out. We'll see how much I know about the world of soccer real quick. Ian, what's been going on over there?
So basically today, I'm just going to talk about one team, and that's one team only. Some of you guys might be saying, Ian, you are very biased because you're talking about your favorite team, Manchester United, but I will come back and say, look, this is the biggest story in soccer right now, all over the world. So we're going to talk about Manchester United's manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and how he's on the hot seat right now after taking a 5-0 loss to Liverpool this weekend.
Is it because his name's hard to say also? That can't help.
Yeah, no.
That can't help,
It definitely took time for me to perfect that, but yeah.
Can you say it again?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Where's he from?
He's actually Norwegian. Yeah. He's a club legend for Man U, but right now he's on the hot seat.
What's the first name and then what's the last? I'm sorry. This is
Ole.
I don't Ollie?
Yeah. It's Ole, so kind of like
Ole.
Ole.
Okay, so Ole's a normal name.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, that's not. If someone were like, my name's Ole, I'd be like, that's pretty cool. And then his last name is.
Well, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
That's not. It just when you say it together.
Yeah. It's like. Bum, 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 bum.
It sounds like you made up a word.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, I'll let you keep going.
No.
I just got caught up on the name.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's on the hot seat right now at Manchester United. They took a 5-0 loss to Liverpool this weekend. They played super poorly. And this has been a conversation over the last year or two for sure on whether or not they want to keep Solskjaer as the team's manager. But personally, I think he needs to go. He is not a demanding enough coach. It's not that he distances himself from the players during games, but he's not one of those coaches that during the games is on the touchline gesticulating, yelling at his players, saying, move here, stay tight in these areas. You don't see that. You just see him sitting back like this and just coaching, like this and kind of, waving his arms. And, I think what a lot of Manchester United fans want, including myself, is a coach that demands more from his players. So they've been talking about replacements like Antonio Conte, who is a Italian manager who has coached multiple teams in the past. But Manchester United came out with a statement today saying that they are deciding to stick with Solskjaer for the foreseeable future. I don't know what that means. Maybe if they play Tottenham this weekend and they lose poorly, then that's, hit the road to Solskjaer or not. But we'll see what happens. But serious changes need to be made. And again, I wouldn't say that this has anything to do with players because we have some of the best players in the world. You have Ronaldo, you have Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, Paul Pogba, David De Gea, world stars. And so I think it's something that actually starts in training during the week. And I just feel like Solskjaer needs to be much more demanding of his players to get the most out of them. So
yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
I don't
he
know
should
much
be.
about.
I don't know why he isn't.
I don't know much about this guy, but he's a dead man walking.
Yeah.
If there are names that have been thrown about seriously in an organization, it's over.
Yeah.
Especially if it's gotten specific. Like, this guy is for sure like the guy if they go with someone.
Yeah.
That this dude next time he gives them an excuse to fire him, he's fired.
Yeah, but
that's
also
how it works.
Yeah, but I mean, just to put this in perspective, I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but I think we've all had that substitute teacher in school that, is kind of laid back. You walk into the classroom, it's a substitute teacher, and you kind of take a little bit of an
That's
advantage.
how you feel like this dude. Players kind of feel like they're able to slack off.
Yeah, and that's because he's not a demanding
lets them
coach.
play hangman all class.
Well, yeah, he's not a demanding coach, so he was brought in as the interim back in 2018. In December of 2018. And Manchester United said, at the end of the season, we will look for a legitimate head coach. Obviously, come the end of the season, they stuck with him, gave him a contract, and he remained our coach. All was fine and well there. Everyone was fine with him being the coach. But he's not a long-term coach. He's an interim. And when Man U stuck with him, and, because he came in only as an interim, I think players kind of, not knowingly abused it, but he kind of allowed for players to not, take him seriously just because he's not a hands-on coach. Again, he's very reserved. He's laid back,
Another word for a non-hands-on coach is a player's coach.
Exactly.
The one that
the
roster probably loves this guy. I guarantee it. Every single one of those dudes would... I don't know if they're the guy that would be like, if you ask the players, do you think you need a new manager? They'd be like, oh, no. No.
Well,
I'm happy with how
now they do. But
now they do that they're losing, but when it didn't affect the record, then, they want to do it.
Yeah.
Tell them do whatever. These are grown men that feel like they don't need another grown men telling them what to do every second of the day.
So yeah, that's been a huge story. Obviously, again, I really like the guy himself. I like Solskjaer. I think he's a good person, but right now he's had too many chances with Manchester United, and you just need to make that firm decision and say, get out of being the manager. And you have to make that firm decision because this is going on for too long. And for a club that should be winning trophies every single year, it's just not good enough. But, yeah. Moving on now.
I 100% agree with that. I think you're right. Yeah.
Moving on now. Again, I'm sticking with Manchester United. A lot of people have asked me over the last few days, and, obviously people have asked other folks online this question, but Is Cristiano Ronaldo a hindrance to Manchester United? Bringing in probably the best player in the world, could that be a hindrance for the team? And in my opinion, it is.
What?
Yes.
That's never... I don't see how that's possible.
So hear me out. The thing with bringing in Ronaldo is that it's like bringing in a LeBron James, right?
Yes.
You bring him in, you have to play him. You're not going to leave him out of the squad.
But he makes everybody better. He wins you games.
Yeah, he wins you games, but the thing is, him coming to Manchester United has had an indirect effect on other players and their development and their inclusion in the squad. Because the problem with Ronaldo is that not only do you have to play him, but he's made it clear he doesn't want to play any other position than being a 9. And he also doesn't want the formation to change either. So it means you pretty much have to, you basically have to structure your formation and lineup to him, and he's always going to be a constant in that lineup. Obviously, he's great. He's won us so many games this season already. I'm not trying to say that I don't want him on the team. But when you bring in a player of his quality, no matter what, you have to start this guy. And, for example, I said this affected players. For example, it's affected Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is an attacking-minded midfielder who has been stuck playing this role as a number 6, which is a defensive-minded position. So this attacking-minded player who's super creative, super skillful, great in the passing game, has a great shot, is playing on the more defensive side of things. And the problem with this is that, first of all, you're not getting his creativity up near the goal. And will you ever? Maybe, maybe not. Depends. If you want to have Paul Pogba further up the field, you'd have to change the formation. Also, you would probably have to change who's up in the front. Not saying that Ronaldo would have to leave, but you would have to change your formation to, instead of having a 4-2-3-1, probably have a 4-1-4-1, something like that, where you just have one holding 6. But then the problem is that if you want to just have one defensive player, who does Man U have? Manchester United don't have solid enough defensive midfielders where you can comfortably say, hey, leave Scott McTominay there to defend for himself. Leave Fred there to defend for himself. You need Paul Pogba's physicality in the back. And so that's why he's there. And so, and basically, yeah, just since we're not defensively sound enough to put a guy like Paul Pogba up there, you're forced to keep Paul Pogba in a defensive spot, playing alongside either Scott McTominay or Fred. So
yeah, Ronaldo's going to get his. He's going to get his touches.
Yeah.
He's going to take touches from other dudes. I mean, this is how it works with any sport.
Yeah.
If you bring a superstar in, he's going to get his minutes.
Yep.
And he's going to get his touches.
Yeah.
Or else he's going to be unhappy. And if he's unhappy, nobody's happy.
Exactly. And that's the hindrance. Right.
Yeah. And so I can see how that'd be a hindrance if, he's taking touches from dudes that need to develop.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
And also, it's like, I feel that Manchester United are forcing the ball way too much toward him alone, and that players that used to be creative and still can be aren't getting those opportunities now. Like Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. They're super creative players, but now everything revolves around Ronaldo. They play with Ronaldo. Ronaldo doesn't play with them now, right? And so now you don't see the same runs from Marcus Rashford. You don't see the same runs from Bruno Fernandes where he's kind of on a free roam basis, moving left and right, up and down the field.
Right.
He's staying super tight and close with Ronaldo, and I think that's affecting how we play as a team. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There's my spiel.
Some good soccer notes this week. I think I learned something. I hope you did too. Now I think I know more about soccer, so that's good news. Moving on, I guess, I'll make this pretty quick. The NBA season started. Just wanted to go over some first impressions. The Bulls are 4-0. This is a little shocking to me because their team's pretty new. Normally in the NBA, you see it take a few games before a team really starts to kind of find their chemistry. This team's found it pretty immediately, which is shocking. I mean, Lonzo Ball's such a good playmaker. Alex Caruso's one too. Two of the guys you added are really good. I mean, DeMar DeRozan's just insanely skilled. He's become a lot better passer the last few years, especially last year in San Antonio. This Bulls team is a force to be reckoned with, especially offensively.
Yeah.
I feel like they're really, really good. Going to be a playoff team for sure. Right behind them in the East, though, is the Charlotte Hornets. They've been insanely fun. LaMelo Ball's had a great year thus far. Bridges has been even better. Miles Bridges has been awesome.
He's been great for me on fantasy, I gotta be honest.
Oh, yeah. Miles Bridges has been fantastic this NBA season. Love him as a player for sure. And that Hornets team is one of those that's got some young guys. People think they're a younger team, but, I mean, they've got some old dudes, too. I mean, Terry Rozier's been around a minute now. Gordon Hayward, all those,
Yep.
Kelly Oubre, he's been around.
Right, yeah.
Now, the issue I think they're going to run into is the last shot issue. I think in close games, they're going to start to struggle a bit. Simply because I don't know if LaMelo's built for it.
Yeah.
On a consistent basis. I think he's going to have games where he's able to make a final shot, but I don't know if he's the guy that you're like, he's like, if you have the ball and it's a tie ball game with 5 seconds left and he's got the ball in his hands, you're not going to have that confidence of like, we're about to win this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
So that's the issue I think they might run into. I think for the other really 46 minutes of play, 43 minutes of play, last 5 minutes are closing minutes. I think they're a fantastic team. They should be insanely fun this season.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, Golden State Warriors off to a fast start. Your Golden State Warriors.
Super happy right now.
Undefeated in the West.
Yeah.
Steph Curry has been playing fantastic basketball.
Yeah.
So you've been able to catch any games so far, your Warriors, or
just little snippets after class. I mean, honestly, I've had some work to do, so I haven't been able to watch too much. But yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure seen the box scores.
Oh yeah.
Highlights on Instagram, all that stuff. I'd imagine that you are a very happy camper about the start of this NBA season.
Very.
Looks like they're about to get another win because Oklahoma City Thunder are not good.
Well, OKC was actually kicking our butts for a little bit there.
And then y'all
we had to come back,
They're winning, and then y'all decide to start caring,
and
then y'all start winning.
Yeah.
So that's what happened there.
Yeah.
Y'all are about to get that win. So Golden State's been dominating the West. As a Grizzlies fan, I have been so happy.
Yeah.
Ja Morant's leading the NBA in score and points per game now. He's getting 35 points per game so far, averaging 8 assists with that. He had 40 points and 10 assists against the Lakers on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a tough one at the end, but
but that's one of those moral it's not a victory, but you're like, oh man, I wish we could have won that, but that was still awesome.
But at the same time, right? I think it probably not teaches him a lesson or anything per se, but I mean, it's one of those kinds of things as a young player that you sometimes have to deal with, right?
Ja's a dude. His mentality deals with that well.
That's good.
There are some players where that might stick with them for a minute, and like next time they're at the free throw line, they get some like, oh my gosh, I better make. You know what I mean? Like
Giannis.
Ja's a dude of so much confidence that I'm not worried about it.
That's good.
He's also a dude that cares so much and has a killer mentality. Just the mentality of an assassin.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not worried about him at all. In fact, I think we're playing Portland, who had the second worst defense in the league last year. I think he could drop 50 this Wednesday.
No.
And that's not, I'm dead serious too. I think he's had 2 days off, so his body's well rested. He's got plenty of energy, and he's had 2 days to think about it.
Yep.
And Ja's a dude that's not happy with the 40 and 10. He wants to make that free throw.
Sure.
So I think this Wednesday is going to be a monster game.
Yeah, no, definitely exciting.
I think he's going to come out and try and rip some heads off. Yeah. Especially since it's Damian Lillard, who he's seen a few times in things like the play-in and the bubble, all that stuff. He's seen Dame a couple of times. So I wouldn't be shocked if, they played in some games that really mattered last year in playoff positioning. So I wouldn't shock if this is a game where Ja really cares about getting a win. Speaking of, though, Damian Lillard shooting 8% from 3 to start the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen all that.
Yeah.
That's not good for him.
It's not Dame time right now. So.
No. It's bad. CJ McCollum stepped up, though.
Yeah.
He's gotten about 24 points per game is what I saw he was averaging so far. But Damian Lillard, him and James Harden both have had it so tough.
Yeah.
I mean, James Harden started the season pretty terribly. I think he's shooting like 10% or 12% or something stupid.
Oh, God.
They got killed by the Clippers.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, I mean,
Yeah, that's not good.
He is not playing well.
Not
so
good.
that makes me confident about my Grizzlies on Wednesday night. But Harden and Damian Lillard struggles have been real, man.
Yep.
They'll turn it around eventually because this happens in the NBA every season.
Oh, yeah.
The season starts until about 12 games in. The standings are whack.
And
like there's always
everything
one
kinda
or two
evens
teams
out,
that
right?
start so hot, and then they just fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen again. It happens every year. It just depends on who actually is fraudulent and who is actually good.
Yeah.
Same with teams that have losing records right now. I mean, this happens every year where a team starts 0-3 and you're like, is this the year that blah, blah, blah falls off? Like the Lake, like, no, this is not the season. They're still good, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like this isn't the time to panic yet. You've still got some time. Obviously, you got to turn it around soon. But, you just got to take it with a grain of salt.
It's a long season.
Yeah.
These teams will be fine. I'm not worried about them. But, so NBA season so far has been insanely fun. We had another fun show again today.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be all. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, Ian.
Yeah. So that's going to be the end of the show tonight. Thank you so much again for joining us. If you're new, please make sure to subscribe and also make sure to follow us at the Jack and Ian Show on Instagram. If you are a regular viewer, thank you so much for sticking with us. We really appreciate your support. I do want to say just quickly, we are looking into bringing guests on the show very soon. So we're in the early stages of contacting some folks. So get ready for some people to come on the show.
Yeah, be looking forward to that. Be on the lookout. I'm sure we'll post it on social media. Another good reason to follow, so you know when those interviews are out.
Yep.
Because we don't know if those are getting released at the exact same time as these. They might be a part of these shows that we do, or they might be completely separate entities on their own.
Exactly.
So make sure to follow us on social media to be able to keep up with that. We should have all that content coming to you within next 2 weeks or so. Yeah. So be looking forward for that.
Yeah, should be good. All right, guys. See you next week.
Thanks.